Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to walk you through how to do sitting assisted hip lift position. So for sitting assisted hip lift position, we're going to be doing it from a sitting in extension base position. So make sure you watch my video on sitting in extension if you haven't done so already. I'm going to show you this, by the way, from two different angles, but I'm going to start off side on. So for sitting in extension, as you know, we need to think about toes, ankles, knees and hips as being in alignment, really thinking about our knees not falling out or falling in. They are staying tracking with the hip joints. And as you know, hopefully you've watched the video, we're rolling this pelvis forwards to close up the fronts of our hips. The pelvis isn't slouching backwards. And whilst that's important in all of our sitting posture exercises, it's really important in this one because you are likely going to notice that you really want to do that. So we're going to be testing a range of movement or challenging a range of movement called external hip rotation. For so many people, they're very, very dysfunctional in external hip rotation. And if we can't get that rotation happening at the hip, what we're going to do is try and slump backwards into the pelvis to give us more space to mobilize the hip, but we're compensating. We want that space to be closed up and active throughout the whole exercise. So we're in our sitting in extension position. I will show you this from the other angle as well, but I'll do one side, side on, and then one side straight on. I'll start with my right leg. So without my left knee falling in or falling out, I'm going to take my right ankle to my left kind of thigh like so. I'm rolling my pelvis forward. So I'm not allowing that pelvis to fall backwards. The pelvis stays forward and you're going to feel how that really, hopefully, challenges the outside area of that right hip. I'm not lifting my rib cage upwards. The rib cage stays facing forwards. I'm pulling my right foot back towards me. So I'm trying to tighten up the top of my foot and the front of my shin. When I pull my right foot back towards me, if I'm doing it correctly, I shouldn't be able to see the sole of my right foot. And sorry, my socks are a bit dirty. So if I can see the sole of my right foot, I'm not dorsiflexing my foot, I'm supinating my foot. So supination is this rotational movement where the big toe joint is going to be closer to your body than the fifth toe joint. And this is your body cheating, compensating. So we don't want to see the sole of the foot in this position. We want to pull backwards through the fifth toe joint edge of your foot so that the center of your second and third toes are in alignment with the direction of your kneecap. We don't want there to be rotation at your ankle. We want there to be flexion at your ankle, which is what we're going after here. So the foot pulls backwards into dorsiflexion, and I will know that I'm dorsiflexing because I will not be able to see the sole of my foot. My pelvis rolls forwards into extension so that my hips are continuing to have to work. And what I'm going to do is use my brain to squeeze my right glute to try and open up that knee a little bit more. I'm not using my hands because your hands don't really play any role in helping that hip to open up in this position. If you crank away like this, you're trying to use momentum and external force to create hip movement. It makes no sense. You're not going to get any better from that. And if anything, it will lead you more towards kind of injury and tension. So we're trying to engage the right muscles in an appropriate way. Pelvic area stays balanced from side to side, so we're not tilting onto one side more than the other. Pelvis rolls forwards, and we're using our brain to squeeze our right butt cheek, our glute, to open that hip up a little bit more. The foot stays powerful, pulling backwards, closing up the angle at the front of that ankle, and my left knee is not falling out nor falling in. I'm going to do a minute here on this side, and then I'll do a minute on the left-hand side, and I'll do that one facing the camera so you can just see it from a different angle. So you're really going to notice probably that you're going to want to slump backwards, but you're keeping that action at the front of your hips. Great one for pelvic balance. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your teeth. Breathing into your nose, breathing into the bottom of your ribs. Exhaling nice and calmly through your ribs and out back through your nose. I'm kind of noticing that I'm wanting to tilt to my left-hand side. So I'm just going to use my brain to kind of anchor myself down a little bit more on that right-hand side. Nice. And I'm getting a little bit more work there happening in that left hip. We've got 10 seconds left. Keep that foot flexed. Keep trying to squeeze the knee open using the glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to do this from a different angle. So this time my left ankle is going to be coming up to my right knee. And as that happens, we don't want the knee falling in. We don't want the knee falling out. So toes, ankles, knees, and hips in alignment. Rolling pelvis forward, Pac-Man hips. Left ankle comes up to right knee. We're thinking about closing up the front of the hip again before we do anything else. We don't want that right knee falling in. We don't want that right knee falling out. We're trying to keep toes, ankles, knees, and hips of that right leg in alignment. Flexing the left foot back towards me. I'm not rotating the left foot back towards me. So yeah, if you see the sole of your foot, you're actually pointing your foot rather than flexing it. Flexing it back, second and third toe in alignment with the same direction as your kneecap, and then trying to keep that weight even through both of your sit bones, not lifting rib cage up, using brain to open up this left glute. Off we go. So, things I'm noticing. I'm wanting to push my right knee outwards, so I'm reminding myself not to do that. And I'm wanting to overload slightly on that right hip. So I'm just going to really focus on kind of grounding into my left hip. And when I do that, I feel a little bit more work going on in that left hip. And I can also feel a bit of a tingle on the outside edge of my left foot. So the muscles that we're waking up here around the hip feed through the outside of your leg, kind of down the IT band, down the outside of your calves and into your fourth and fifth toes. And this is good for me. So I'm a bit collapsed through my left leg and I can feel a bit numb sometimes through my fourth and fifth toes on that left foot. And this to me really feels like I'm kind of waking something up there. So this external hip rotation of my left leg is obviously serving me well. We've got 3, 2, and 1. That was sitting assisted hip lift position. Hope you found it helpful and I'll see you again soon.